I would say I think it's worth it. What you get out of it emotionally is fantastic, but it's more what the children get out of it too. You make what you want of it really. Like, you go into it with an open heart, you're going to get more out of it than if you go into it with a closed heart. Like, you want to go in there knowing it's going to have its ups, it's going to have its downs, but at the end of the day, as long as you love that child unconditionally and knowing that you may not keep them forever, so you've got to have that mindset, okay, this might not last forever, but as long as you're in there having a go, it's the main thing.
Jemma's 8 and Zoe is 6. When we first started doing it, we were having emergency placements closer to Zoe's age, and we found that didn't really work because Zoe was only 3 years old at the time, so she didn't really understand the whole concept. That was a bit tricky. And then we started getting placements for babies, and that just seemed to work. So at first the girls didn't really pay much attention to it, but as they've gotten older, they've gotten a lot more involved with the babies, and they love to give them cuddles and they love to feed them. And when they get to that sort of, start interacting a bit more, they love to sit there and read them stories or put on puppet plays for them. So it's really nice to watch. Yeah.
I was talking to a friend the other day, and they were saying how they wanted children, but they don't really want children because they're like, we can have them, but we'll give them back. And I said, well, why don't you do foster care? Because you can have them for like a weekend or even a night, and then you can give them back. But it gives them a chance to go from someone. I said, you're not keeping them, it's just a respite thing where if someone needs a night off because they need their time, then you can just help out and say, yep, we'll take them for a night, and just, yeah. So we're hoping that more people will get on board with that, because I think it's important as well, because carers do need a rest as well sometimes. We look at it and go, if we've had the child for say 3 months, and they go, okay, we haven't found a home for them, we don't want them to bounce around until they can find a long-term solution, so we'd prefer to just keep them in the one setting and try and keep them stable, because I think that's important for the children as well, because nothing worse than being somewhere for a week or 2 weeks and then having to move again. And yeah, so that's something we've really wanted to try and do for them.
People say to you, oh, I don't know how you do it, don't you get attached? And of course you get attached. If you don't get attached, you're not doing your job properly. So, doing that short-term care, there is a bit of grief when that placement ends, but there's also a lot of joy in knowing that you've given them a really good and stable start, and it's really nice to see that attachment with their long-term carers when they go into that placement. So that makes all the sleepless nights and the grief at the time, makes it worth it, just to see them happy and where they're loved and they're really wanted. So yeah, and I think the more people that are aware about respite care and just emergency care, that can be the difference between a placement breakdown and a continued placement. So if more people could do respite care, whether it's just taking on one child and building up a relationship with them and having them one weekend a month, like that, I'd love to see more of that sort of care out there. And me and Jeremy have a saying, you can't help everyone, but everyone can help someone. So if everyone can work out the way that they can help someone, that would be great. I feel really supported by ACCARE and our placement worker as well, but we also have a really good support network around us through family and friends and our church family, and they're always happy to get around us and help out if we need it. So it makes a big difference being supported when you're doing that role. My main thing would be, if you even just have a tiny inkling to do it, just go and talk to someone. Like, just go find out the information, go and do some training, do some assessments, and if you get to the end of that and you do a placement and it's not for you, it's okay. There's nothing lost, but if it is for you, there's a lot to be gained.